as we say every single Monday morning. It is a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to a Nerdy Coffee here on Nerd Affiliated. It is chilly. I came in here, I sat down, almost went live at 9 o'clock on the dot. And it was like a little, pulled the Rick Ross. So I had to go get a hoodie, come back. But hopefully it's warmer where you are. Fingers crossed. But this is your this is your weekly Monday morning nerdy talk show, your Monday morning support group where you sit back, relax, and hopefully on this cold November morning, enjoy yourself a nice hot cup of brew. First one always feels so good. And we talk about the news. So we have a lot to discuss. San Diego, what a show off. We have a lot to discuss today. A lot of rumors going around, sequels coming down the pipeline. We're talking box office recap, and of course, crowdfunding. If you got a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug yo shit. So it's good to see all of you today. Hopefully you're doing well. We have a good audience building up in here. I love it. Love it. It's true. Oh, dear God, it's Monday again. Anthony, good to see you. Cutthroat in the house. Good to see you. I think, Cutthroat, you were the first one. You weren't the first on my eCam, but on the chat on my phone, you were the first one. So I think Cutthroat was first today. And he says he's ready for some nerdy coffee. Sound cool. Bring on like a Ghostbusters. I think you're trying to do this. I think that was the move. But it never shows it on eCam. Actually, little OnlyFans action here. I am wearing the Nerdbuster shirt underneath. So there you go. Make sure you head over to nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for cool merch like the shirt, like the hoodie, and like the mug, as well as some other cool things. I should probably do a Black Friday sale, so stay tuned for that. Everybody saying hi to each other. Josh in the house, good to see ya. Got Aaron Waller in the house, good to see ya. Sleeping Collectibles in the house, good to see ya, brother. It's been forever. Hope all is well. Patrick in the house, love it. TK Magic Shop, good to see ya. He says, I just want to thank you for your channel. You're always smiling, brother. Appreciate that. There you go. Cool. So how was your weekend, everybody? Do anything fun? Did you find any cool collectibles out there? I should have brought it in. I put it in the truck to take to storage because that's what happens. I picked up this weekend on sale. Let me see if it's still on sale, actually. So Amazon already started their Black Friday sales. Let's see. And I saw something that had been pretty expensive for a very, very long time. It finally went on sale. So let's go over here. So I picked up this Captain America shield here for $75. $75. Full price is $131. I was telling Anthony and Steve, I think this is a re-release because back in the day, I worked at Best Buy and we had the Cap shield. And thinking about that time period, it must have been like Infinity War, maybe was the movie. So when I got the box and I saw that it was Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was like, oh, this is different than the one I originally saw as far as packaging goes, but I think the shield's the same. Pretty sure it's the same. Cutthroat says he bought some G.I. Joe comics. There you go. Love that. That's right. Amazon spiking the punch early. That is true. T3, good to see you. Weeps patriotically. I struggled there for a second. I just struggled there for a hot second. But what was cool and what got me kind of upset, Steve sent me a link to the shield that he had purchased back when we did our 3 caps for Comic-Con, not this past New York Comic-Con, but the one before it. Pull that up on screen. So he picked up his shield off of a guy on Etsy. And this one costs less than the Amazon shield. Comes with a carrying case. And is like legit metal, I think. This, I gotta tell you, this shield in person is very, very impressive. Very impressive. I'll actually head over, let's see. Going over to the channel, or sorry, to the website. As a reminder, on the website, tons of photography as well. So it's not just links to everything. But this was Steve's cap last year. It's a great shield. Great shine, great finish. I thought he bought this shield, or I should say, I thought he bought the Marvel Legends shield and changed the finish on it. But that is not the case. He bought this off of Etsy. So I will post a link in the chat for all of you. Feel free to check it out. I'm all about supporting the small creator, the home business, all of it. So head over there, check out, who's this person's name? Doesn't even say. Carzon, maybe? Oh, and there's different versions too. I didn't catch that. You can get a classic version, the damage with the stand, only the stand. Oh, okay. Sorry. My mistake. 112 is the shield. And then 160 is the shield with the stand. Okay. I was like, damn, that's crazy. $68 for that thing. But still 112. 112. It's still a good price. It is still a good price. So check it out. And yeah, support small businesses. For sure. All right. Let's I forgot to reprogram all of all of my buttons. So I don't have the cool flashy things. But we'll start going through the program, and I think I'm going to save what I was watching last week for the box office recap, like nerd news transition period. I think that's what we're going to go for. So what we'll do first is we're going to start off with some nerd news. Sorry. I got to get a sound effect for that. What was I just thinking of? Like, I got to get the hang of this. Oh, Turtles 2, ripping the tape off. Got to get the hang of this. All right. So, one of the things that popped up last week was the name Taika Waititi in 2 different forms, in 2 different types of contexts, 2 different franchises, 1 studio. Taika Waititi just doesn't mind if Marvel finds a new director for Thor 5. I won't be involved. Now, the reason this whole story was like eye-opening for me, it is no surprise that Thor 4, aka Thor Love and Thunder, was Thunder. I need to finish this coffee. There we go. It is no surprise that Thor: Love and Thunder was an absolute shit show. Like it was a stinker. Everybody hated it. There's no person on earth that is like, oh no, that's my favorite Thor movie. It's not a thing. Not a thing. However, he was coming off of Ragnarok, which I didn't realize was I don't know if controversial is the right word, but there are a lot of people who actually do not like Ragnarok. And I thought that was universally praised. Not the case. Either way, we could all agree it's the better Thor movie of the three. Definitely of the four, going to Love and Thunder. But Love and Thunder was a far drop from Ragnarok. And it was shocking to me. I talked about it, I think, with T3. But it was shocking to me. What's up, Rolando? Good to see you. Because I love Taika as a director. I think he's a great director. And seeing the product we got versus what he normally does, it made me think he was trying to get out. He was literally trying to be like, I'm done. And potentially troll everybody with the movie we received. I speculated that. And it turns out that is an actual thing. I'm going to see if I can find this clip. I just randomly remembered this clip. I was thinking of the example. Let's see if we can find Rob Zombie talking about Halloween. So I'll see if we can get away with playing part of this clip. Let's see. I'm not using my actual profile, so there's an ad there. Turn the sound on for all of you. But what's happening here is Rob Zombie is talking about making Halloween 2. He's over on the Howie Mandel show. And I think in the horror world, people for the most part, I think, were fine with Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. I actually enjoyed it. But like the horror purists, I think, were okay with that movie. However, Halloween 2 was like, whoa. It was whoa. And seeing him talk about that, it linked the Taika thing to me. And I was like, I feel like this is the same.
I don't know. It's like I hate going down these roads with all this stuff. So I'm trying to remember all this negative stuff I've blocked out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But it was just, no, it's okay.
It's good to purge it. You'll feel
chaos.
better.
I mean, it was just, yeah. I mean, I think the basic mindset they had was every director and every actor is an idiot, and the movie can only be good if we save it because everyone in this town is stupid but us. And that's how they would approach everything.
And when you do, or maybe...
Mind you, we're not even talking about Disney here, but I feel like we can all assume same energy. What's up, Dre? Good to see you. I assume we can think same energy studio to studio, but especially when it comes to Disney.
Because you made them think that all their ideas were put to, happened. I mean, I was just wondering if at the weekend it opens at over 30 million that you have or they are aware that you can go. Nye, 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 nye.
Well, this is how that went down. When the movie, when Bob watched the movie, when it was done, this is how he calls me and goes, I hate every single fucking frame of this movie.
That's your call?
Really?
Yeah,
No.
That's like a note. I hate you have to fire your editor. He's a fucking idiot. He doesn't know what he's fucking doing. I hate every. There's maybe
You're not
one-
exaggerating.
Oh no, I'm not exaggerating at all. This is what it was like every single day. And then
How do you go to sleep?
Once it's done.
Oh, no.
Once the movie is done.
And he's talking right now about Halloween 1. This is Halloween 1. Same energy. If you guys remember, there is the Movies That Made Us on Netflix. TMNT 1, 1990, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Studio watched it, said, this movie fucking sucks. I can't believe you guys did this. But at that point, it's too late. Movie's done. Same energy. Continuing.
And he calls a lot too. So your phone's always like, oh. And so at first you try to appease it, then you're like, okay, they can't appease that. It's just crazy. So he wanted to fire my editor, who was fantastic, and we hired another editor who I didn't like him, but I didn't need him. So we had this other editor who had been an Academy Award nominated editor, but I didn't need him. So I put him in another room, and he just sort of hung out doing stuff, making coffee, hanging around at some ridiculous rate he was getting paid. And I continued working with my editor. And then the morning...
I love corporate America for that. Again, none of what is being said now is exclusive to the Rob Zombie experience of Halloween. That I could say. What's up, Sal? Good to see you.
The day the movie came out, Bob calls me at 10 a.m. He goes, "It doesn't look good. This thing's a fucking disaster." It's 10 a.m. I go, "Bob, are any theaters even open anywhere yet?" And then he calls me like a couple hours later. "We're adding more screenings. This thing's going through the roof." But then Harvey calls Bob and goes, "If you had listened to me, we could have done double." So then they start fighting that #1 record-breaking weekend isn't good enough. Because I was talking to some people in their office. They're like, "Oh, it's a nightmare here right now." They're fighting. They're screaming at each other why it's not 60 million. And that's what it was like. And then, so anyway, I go to make the sequel, which I refused to do at first because I just went out of my contract because I wanted to kill myself.
Did you have...
This is the part. This is the sequence that, to me, speculatory, is what happened with Taika. This, to me, is the same shit. Again, I have no sources. I've not read any articles, but seeing what we got from Thor 3 technically, but Taika's first Marvel movie into his second, into the fact that he wants out of the third, is what makes me think this is what happened.
Have a contract with them to
I had a 3-picture deal
with them,
which I said I left to do nothing because I didn't want. And then a couple of years later, they had fired 12 different directors for Halloween 2. So I came back. I go, "I'll direct it if you let me out of the 3rd picture, so I don't have to do 3 pictures." I'm the only guy who negotiates lower picture deals here. I go, "Let me out of the deal and I'll do it." So I go to shoot that, and Bob comes to the set. He's showing me the trailer for My Halloween as if I've never seen it. He goes, "Every frame of this movie is fucking genius." Now, this is the same guy who said, every frame of this movie I fucking hate. So, this is crazy.
How do you function under that kind of pressure? That would be too much for me to...
Well, it sounds like it's not even pressure, though. It's just annoying.
It's
right?
horrible because you waste you only have so much energy in your body, and you waste most of it dealing with chaos and very little of it dealing with trying to make a good movie.
In the best case scenario, you have a vision. Did you write the script?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have a vision, you wrote the script, and they gave you the green light on the words.
Well, that's the funny thing about them. I will say, I mean, I don't want to make it like everything's horrible. The thing that was really good was when they go, "Okay, let's fucking do it." Like, they mean, let's do it. Like, let's literally start tomorrow, and you're instantly behind schedule. Whereas everyone else that I've dealt with, when they're like, "Okay," well, they don't swear like those guys, but they're like, "Okay, we want to do this."
And it never gets done.
Was that the green light? Are we doing this? And then 6 months later, is this happening? Or 2 years later, like the Monsters took 5 years of that sort of, are we doing this? Are we not doing this? Are we doing this?
I know that.
We're doing it again. No, we're not doing it. Whereas like those guys are like,
okay,
but fucking taking so long.
So by the way, Monsters was not very good. I will say that. But I imagine that's the same kind of thing that has happened at Disney when it comes to Taika. Because that drop off between the two movies is just, to me, that's somebody who's like, "Fuck it, I'm out." They're just like, "I'm good. I'm good. Like, just let me go. Just let me go." And then when this article comes out, to me, it's a cosign on that theory. Responding to rumors that the studio is indeed developing a fifth Thor movie, Waititi told Business Insider, I wouldn't know if that's accurate. God, start over. I wouldn't know if that's accurate. Adding, I know that I won't be involved. I'm going to concentrate on these other films that I've signed on for. If you love a project, if you love the franchise, you're not bouncing. It's your baby, something you love. And everybody would assume if you get the opportunity to work on a Marvel movie, you're holding on to that bitch as long as you can. But all signs point to no. And I feel like his last movie was his attempt to solidify that he will not be back for Thor 5. My opinion. But then we get a second Taika report. Star Wars. So pre Love and Thunder, by the way, hello LeBron and Sal. I'm not sure if I said hi to both of you, but I'll say it anyway. Pre Love and Thunder, when Disney was riding high on Star Wars somehow, they announced 1 million projects, 1 million directors, and one of them was Taika. He said he was going to do Star Wars. And I wanted the movie because I like him as a director, but I didn't want more jokey joke Star Wars. I didn't want Star Wars to become Marvel, to become the superhero genre as it currently exists. So then this comes out from Variety. Taika jokes that a Star Wars film will piss people off. He's still doing it. So it says he can't say much about his forthcoming Star Wars film, but he does have a joke that might pique his fans' sense of humor. When asked if his addition to the popular franchise would still show fans the same Star Wars they know and love, I love that they reference this one. The Thor Love and Thunder director animatedly told Variety on the red carpet of his next Gold Wins premiere, it will be, dramatic pause, a Taika Waititi film. I'm gonna piss people off. I don't know. Again, is he gonna try to bomb it on purpose? Who knows? One would say an artist or director would never bomb their project on purpose. But I think the only people that ever come out of Disney saying they love directing at Disney or directing a Marvel or a Star Wars project, maybe Kevin Feige. But what, Jon Favreau bounced and they begged him to come back? Like, it's, I don't know. Nothing seems, my excitement for all of these properties, for all these franchises is absolutely depleted. It is just absolutely depleted. And seeing these directors that you know can make good work put out this garbage and, you know, everything's a joke. Every shot is a joke and the tones don't match. I'm like, I feel like they're tanking it on purpose. I feel like they're tanking it on purpose just to like F you to the man. I feel like that's what's happening. But you guys can let me know what you think. Am I just reaching too far? Is that what's happening? Let me catch up on the chat here. Sal says, it's unbelievable how much of a dumpster fire Love and Thunder was. It was the first Marvel movie I almost walked out of. I almost walked out multiple times. Yeah. Even, you know, thinking back to Thor 1 and Thor 2, which are pretty low on my ranking, don't think I ever wanted to walk out because I was just happy with what we were getting. But, you know, following the 10 years of awesome stuff with some hits and some misses, I feel like at the the split in the road of Love and Thunder, like, we expect more. We deserve more. We've invested so much. Can't keep giving us the shit. Just can't keep doing it. How is Thor getting all these movies? Well, Chris Hemsworth is still down. If Robert Downey was still down, if Evans was still down, we would get more of those movies. But they're all like, I'm good. They're like, I'm good, so they're out. You don't want Star Wars the musical? Debatable. Well, Thor 3 was probably contractually obligated. Love and Thunder rode the success of Thor 3 and Infinity War. And Infinity War Endgame Thor. Too bad that guy didn't show up. Exactly. Certainly felt like he bombed Love and Thunder. There were many beautiful. So you guys make me think sometimes that like I'm crazy on my literacy. Then like I read the sentences and I'm like, it's not me. You're just typing too fast. Certainly felt like he bombed Love and Thunder. There were some beautiful comic accurate scenes in that movie that the rest of the movie didn't make sense. But the rest of the movie didn't make sense, I'm guessing. LeBron says he thinks I'm right. Sal said he canceled Disney Plus last night. Crazy. That also rhymed on purpose. Not on purpose. Nolan collects. Good to see you, brother. Quantity over quality with Marvel Star Wars these days. We get sprinkled with some good stuff. But, man, it's convoluted with a lot of bad stuff. That is true. It is damn true. JB in the house. Good to see you. Love and Thunder could have been an epic movie if they would have let Bale go with it. I agree. Moulin Rouge, a Star Wars musical. Yes, should totally do that. All right, moving on. I went way too long on that story. I don't know. I just loved it. We'll come back to Blue Beetle. Get out of here with these ads. Oh, my God. All right, so speaking of sequels, we're getting another Creed movie. Creed 4, says producer Irwin Winkler. I don't know, man. I don't know. Michael B. Jordan to direct, says the producer. Man, it's funny. We were talking about this last week. I don't remember what show it was. We're talking about Creed 3, and it was on the podcast. It was the podcast. Make sure you go check that out. Creed 3 to me got, as a little recap here, Creed 3 got an extra pass because I like Michael B. Jordan. I feel like Michael B. Jordan is one of us. He's a nerd. He's a blurred. It was very evident in the directing style of the movie, more specifically the final fight scene of the movie. I thought the creativeness in that final fight scene was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't want to spoil any of it in case you guys decide to watch it and you haven't, but he took anime and was like, how do I make anime real life? Incorporated that into the fight scene. And he also said, how do I make a boxing fight scene just different than every other boxing hand-to-hand combat fight scene? He did that. And I didn't think the story was very original. I didn't think the story was very good. You saw what was going to happen a mile away. Creed is a young guy. And from movie 1 to movie 3, we just rehashed Rocky, where from Rocky 1 to Rocky 3, he retires and then has to come back. So in Michael B. Jordan doing that again, I was like, you know what? Just call it a day at this point. Just call it a day. At the end of the movie, we do the whole Marvel BS where his daughter's interested in fighting, so obviously he's going to train his daughter at some point. I don't need to see it. That reminded me, though, I was like, man, I feel like somebody else has talked about this whole Rocky franchise being run into the dirt. Good to see you, Steve. I was talking about you earlier today. and that was Sylvester Stallone. Sorry. By the way, Reservation Dogs advertisement, Taika Waititi. There you go. Good show. Good show. Speaking of running stuff into the dirt, enter stage left Sylvester Stallone. This article, July 31st, 2022. Sylvester Stallone says Erwin Winkler and family are sucking Rocky dry. Depicts producer as blood-sucking vampire. Now, much to everyone's surprise, unless you do, follow that kind of thing, Sylvester Stallone doesn't outright own Rocky. He pretty much sold off the ownership of Rocky to still be Rocky. And in Rocky 1, when that movie, before it came out, Stallone was trying to sell that script. And when he eventually got somebody to buy it, he was like, listen, I'm only going to sign over this if I'm playing Rocky. And people were like, no, you can't act. We're not doing this. You don't have the face. He's like, no, I'm Rocky. This is my script. I'm selling it. So that's how that's how something like this article comes out. He's the face of Rocky. If you say Rocky, people say Sylvester Stallone, but he doesn't really own it. Similar to, you say James Bond, depending on who you're talking to, they're like, oh yeah, James Bond's Sean Connery. Oh yeah, James Bond is Roger Moore. They don't own the franchise. They're just the face of the franchise. So the last Creed movie, Stallone's not in it because he was like, I'm out. I'm done. I think this is done. And they were like, no, gonna continue to push this forward. Seeing that Creed 4 is coming out, I'm like, listen, it's done, but they're going to keep on pushing forward. That's just the name of the game. But I do think it's ironic. I do think it's ironic overall that Stallone is the one to say that they're bleeding this dry. Essentially they're beating a dead horse here. They're just dragging that horse across that finish line. Because my man made Expendables 4 this year. And I don't think anybody saw it. In fact, I'm willing to bet most of you didn't know there was Expendables 3 or 4. Maybe you knew there was a part 2. And in your brain, maybe 2 and 3 are the same movie. But no, there's an Expendables 4. So, at the end of the day, we talked about it in the podcast last week. I think the franchise movies, one of the stories of this year is as the cat takes a shit behind me in the litter box. I think one of the stories of this year is the legacy franchise is dying. In fact, it's probably already dead. And they just haven't released the news yet, but the families know they're dead. I think it's over. It's an absolute wrap. And Expendables proves it. I just saw somebody actually talk about it. Where was it? Equalizer. That was another one. What was the other movie we mentioned this? Oh, we talked about Equalizer. We didn't talk about Expendables, but we should have. Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible. The fact that all of those movies did not do well with big actors right in the front. Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise. It's time for some new blood out there. It is time for some new blood. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip some of the comments, reading all of them. But it feels like we're all on the same page here. He wrote the Rocky movies, but he had a problem, some of the copyright stuff, because he based on a boxer. Yeah. JB, Expendables franchise over Creed any day. There you go. There you go. Now, yeah. Now, talking about new blood, a studio that, again, doesn't want new blood at all. They just want to keep rehashing shit. We somehow always end up going back to it. Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, as Reed Richards, was probably the biggest nerd news of last week. I feel like they're fucking with us. I just feel like they're fucking with us. But you know what? This is going to be the shortest take on any of the things today. I will say shout out to you, Pedro Pascal. Get your money. Get your money. Strike while the iron's hot. Just do it. Just do it. And then you know what? Have them write into the script that somehow your face gets disfigured so that they can keep doing the movies. You just wear a mask. You don't even show up. You just call it in. And we call it a day. Call it a day. What was the line from Wonder Woman? It's good, but it could be better. Something like that. Throw a mask on him. Pedro Pascal's in it. Throw a mask on him. I don't know. Are you guys excited for a Fantastic Four movie in general? Like, is that even in consideration, or are we good? Disney, Marvel, Star Wars loves hiring in-house. Yep. These young people today care more if streamers are in movies than actors. Five Nights at Freddy. Really? There's a streamer in there? He could become the maker so he can wear a helmet. Yeah. Yeah. But that's it there. I want to be excited. Yeah. I want to be excited. I want to be excited. Now, something that did boost my love of superhero movies ever so slightly was my viewing of Blue Beetle this weekend. It finally made it to HBO Max. Finally checked it out. I talked last week with the fellas and we said, well, I gave them the homework assignment. Let's watch Blue Beetle. We're DC fans. We don't get that many DC projects. Let's just watch it, see what happens. Son of a bitch. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. Is it a great movie? No. Is the first half of the movie rough? Yes. Is the first half of the movie jokey? Yes. Are there tropes in this movie that get old very fast? Yep. Are there superhero tropes in this movie that match pretty much every other superhero movie you've watched? Yep. But you know, once I passed that halfway mark, I was like, I like this. I like this. I want to see more of it. I'm ready for James Gunn to take risk in his superhero movies. Like, don't rehash old shit to make something, but with a new coat of paint. I'm ready for James Gunn to challenge himself and to challenge us as watchers. People can handle a more mature movie. Kids can handle a more mature movie. Let's go for it. Real problems, real issues, and enough of the bad guy being you with your power set, but in a different color. That's all I will say. Good movie, had heart. Yep. Solid 7, and that's okay. Exactly. People are more excited about the cab driver than the main characters. Is that in Five Nights at Freddy? Is that a thing? That's funny. All right. Box office recap before we go into crowdfunding. Because I feel like crowdfunding randomly brings out more rants from me. So I want to just knock out box office. This past week, we had the release of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have no idea what that's about. Didn't like The Hunger Games. I feel like most people like the first one, fall off after that. But pulled in $44 million in a post-pandemic world that is decent, but in a legacy franchise, again, franchises are dying. Not a great showing. You then had Trolls 3, followed up by The Marvels pulling in another 10.2 milli. Heading to the Excel sheet, because you guys know I love me a good Excel sheet. Right now, that brings the Marvels to a total box office of 161 million. We can round it up if you want to 162. We're estimating that the budget was 200 million according to Google searches. So going by the rule of two, it is a far stretch from its 400 million goal. It's got to break the 400 million to break even. Five Nights at Freddy, though, since LeBron was talking about that, I wanted to mention it. Success. Five Nights at Freddy cost 20 million. Therefore, just needing 40 million to break even. It's already at 271 million. So Five Nights at Freddy doing very, very well. And this is considering or factoring in that it's on Peacock, I believe. I think Lenny mentioned that on For Those Good Taste last week. He was thinking that Five Nights at Freddy being on Peacock hurt the numbers. There's no way to say it doesn't, because obviously there are some people who are going to watch it at home versus going to the theaters. You can debate whether they would have gone to the theater anyway to see it, but still pulling in 271 on a budget allegedly of 20. That is impressive. And then Sal here mentioning Trolls 3 smoking the Marvels is embarrassing. It is. JB said that he's looking forward to Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. The NECA Thanksgiving figure was announced. People are excited about that, so I'm guessing people are excited about the movie. It opened at 10.2. Yep, 2.4 international. So, and short movie, an hour 46 minutes. That's really good. T3 says he really enjoyed Thanksgiving. All right. There you go. I wonder what the budget on that was. It says, 100 million was 15 million. 100 million was Hunger Games, but 15 million, including production, prints, and advertisements. Wow. I don't know what that picture was. Again, that picture, this website's getting gross, so we'll move off of there. But if 15 million was the number, then we're doing good. All right. Before I move on, just want to remind everybody that we are on Letterboxd, so you can make sure to search for Nerd Affiliated. You can search for Hey Archer. It should pop up under both. I do want to do a ranking of the Dragon Ball Z movies. That one I do want to do. But for some reason, the other day I could not find where I had Wakanda Forever on the list. It is at number 20 for whoever I was talking to about that. Number 20, just ahead of Captain America. Cool. All right. We're approaching the end. It is time for some crowdfund action. Cobra Mothership, we have reached 1438. We were 1437 last week, maybe. I feel like it wasn't really that high. Shout out to LeBron. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Dead in the Water. I'm not gonna. sucks. I feel bad for them on that one. Feel bad for them on that one. Heading over to Hasbro. Oh, look at, wow. The sales event. That's a coincidence. I didn't know they were starting this. Let's see here. Save 35% when you spend $75 on select, or save 25% when you spend $75 for non-members. The sale started at 9 a.m. Anything good? Anything good? So, I do want that cap. See, I knew this segment would get derailed. Oh, yes. There we go. We're going to pick up the MJ 2-pack. 35% off. So my rule of thumb when it comes to the Hasbro sale is always pick up items that you would not see in store. But let's check out the Ghost Trap real quick before we go back. Ghost Trap is creeping. It is creeping to the 15,000. I thought we'd hit 15,000 by Thanksgiving. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I still feel like we're close enough. We are close enough. I think a good trailer or some sort of sneak peek of the Ghostbusters movie, like another one, could boost it. As a reminder, at 15,000, we get the Ghost Trap holster and the Haslab patch. And then the final will be the PKE meter trap pouch with the patch. Still thinking they got to drop something else. I feel like Hasbro needs to announce one more thing, but it's doing well as a Haslab, so I don't know. But usually they have one more thing to announce. All right, let's go back to the sale real quick. They have a whole clearance section now too. I don't remember if we've talked about that. Wow, the Morpher sold out again. That just came back too. They got rid of the Halloween section, I guess for obvious reasons, but let's see, cosplay. If I type that in, if any of this is on sale. Ooh, Red Ranger helmet back up for pre-order. That's new. Once again, the Red Ranger sword is on sale. Staff of Ra. There it is. The wand is on sale once again. 35% off. That's the price I like it at. That ends up being about $80, $89, something like that. Buy this wand. Buy this wand. I'm telling you. If you think at any point in time that you may want to cosplay a Ghostbuster, this is the wand to have. I will say that first. Secondly, it is one of the rare props that I own that I feel like the price is actually justified, especially at 35% off. Especially sound effects, the way it feels, the buttons, the whole nine. So pick this up for sure. For me, like I said, I'm calling this. I need that Mary Jane 2-pack. Let's see, Spider-Man. Let's see if there's any other Spider-Man stuff. Good amount, 35% off. Some reason, Spider-Gwen's not on sale. Don't know why that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, gonna get the Mary Jane pack, the Carnage 2-pack. It's a good one if you don't have a Carnage and or you don't have a symbiote Spider-Man. The Doc Ock 2-pack, definitely worth it for Doc Ock. They were smart. They did not put Peter Parker on sale. They were smart. They know that they know people want it. Let's see. Bunch of pre-orders. It's all sold out. Sold out. Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. The sale started. What a coincidence. We came to the site and there it was. So let me know what you guys pick up. Tag me in some pictures showing what you bought. And hopefully you get something good. Wow, that was a loaded episode. There was a lot of stuff today. I said at the top, there's a lot to cover. Probably went too long on the Taika Waititi rant, but for once, I covered pretty much everything. Oh, last thing, or two things. Invincible. Watch it. I'm telling you, watch it. If you think you might be experiencing the superhero fatigue, watch Invincible. It's a breath of fresh air. Just so good. So good. Season 2, right now, not seeming as good as Season 1. But Season 1 was so out of left field, it's hard to match. But I'm still enjoying Season 2. So definitely check that out. T3 says he needs 2-packs. And JB found the No Way Home wave last night. I saw that. That is awesome. I got to go find... I got to see those in person to see if I want to buy them. I think that's where I'm at. Patrick says he's one episode behind on Invincible. I got to see if episode 3's out, actually. So, yeah, check out Invincible for sure. And last thing, at the moment, no Hey Archer Live this Thursday. It is Thanksgiving. I feel like one Thursday a year I can take off. I don't get married every year on Thursday. So this year it is 2 days off. But Thanksgiving, I feel like it's fair. Take a day off there. Maybe I do something like I did in the past where Hey Archer Live ends up being on a different day or ends up being live from like the bar on the road. I don't know. But at the moment, no scheduled Hey Archer Live for this Thursday, but we'll be back next week. That'll be the goal. I hope all of you have a great, wonderful Thanksgiving, shortened work week. Enjoy the time with your family. Take a breather. Relax. A lot of us can use a breather, and a lot of us can use some time to relax, especially you toy hunters out there. Get your hunting in now. Stay out of those stores Friday to Monday. Let all the crazy people go do their crazy things. You guys already know. Whatever's on sale today, it's the same sale price this weekend. No point wasting your time this weekend. T3 says, I picked up a banger last Friday, but you'll have to wait until tomorrow to see it. There you go. I am thankful for all of you, subscribers, followers, likers, all the other ers here at Nerd Affiliated. Once again, nerdaffiliated.com, your one-stop shop for all things Nerd Affiliated. Merch, exclusive live shows. We're going to have a second one coming up pretty soon. And more importantly, you can support us there. For $1 a month, you could be a member of the Nerd Foundation over at nerdaffiliated.com. Said, grab some merch and just overall support the channel, support the movement, and help pay our bail money. So we definitely need the bail. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Like, comment, subscribe to each other and to Nerd Affiliated. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
Wow.